Hello everyone, it's Alexander. I hope you are doing well, and in today's video I will share with you how to protect cryptocurrency from hackers, because this is super important. Even if you have a small amount of crypto or if you're a huge investor, you need to protect your funds as much as possible. And stay with me until the end of the video, because I will share with you how I personally protect my funds. And even it's not 100% guarantee, it is way better to do something rather than not doing anything and then regret for the rest of your life that you haven't spent those 10 minutes with me. So the first thing is not to keep your funds or your crypto in one place. Diversify. Put it on different exchanges. Split it through different devices. I will share with you how I personally split my cryptocurrencies on my portfolio spreadsheet. You can see that on the second column I have the wallets, and for example the first ones over here I keep on my ledger device. I will show you what the ledger is if you don't know in a second. Then I have some on my crypto.com wallet, on Binance, and I have some on Gate.io. So pretty much I keep my cryptocurrencies on 3 exchanges and put some of your long-term investments into a ledger device. This is a hardware device and it costs some money. For example, the Nano X ledger is about 300, this is Bulgarian levs, but in American dollars it's about $170, I believe. I bought it. Then we have Nano S, which is the older version, but it's a flash, like a hardware, and you keep it offline. You have an app on your mobile. I have reviewed it. I will drop some links in the description below. As well, I will drop a link to the official website, so if you decide to buy a ledger device or any other hardware crypto wallet, make sure to buy it from the official website. So the long-term investments, those cryptos that you're planning to hold for the rest of your life, it is best to keep it on a hardware wallet off of the exchanges. Those that I'm trading and I keep for the short term, for me it's alright to keep on Binance, on crypto.com, Gate.io, Coinbase, or any other exchange that I'm using. But when it comes to exchanges as well, it is very important to stay on the exchanges that have some kind of protection. And here comes number 3, choose an exchange that will protect your funds or your crypto in the best possible way, depending on the country you live in. For example, most of the exchanges in the United States, they guarantee funds for the US citizen. The rest of the world, you're screwed. I'm kidding, of course. There are plenty of ways to protect your cryptocurrencies. For example, crypto.com recently announced their account protection program. Here it is, after they had a huge hack in the last weeks. I'm not sure if you have heard of it, but there were unauthorized withdrawals for about 5,000 Ethereum and nearly 500 Bitcoins, a lot of money, but they have compensated the clients. However, after that, they have came up with the APP, or the account protection program, and there are 5 things you need to do if you're a crypto.com user. First things is to enable the multi-factor authentication, or the MFA, for all the transactions. The second thing is to set up an anti-phishing code, but at least 3 weeks before you report any unauthorized transactions. Okay, number 3 is not to be using any jailbroken devices. Number 4, that's quite interesting, you need to file a police report. And I can imagine a policeman coming to my door in Bulgaria where I live, and if I tell them they have stolen my crypto, I'm pretty sure they will be like, they have stolen my Stellar. Is this your dog's name? So I'm pretty sure that the policemen, especially in Bulgaria, have no idea about cryptocurrencies and how they should file a report or what blank they should give me to fill in. So I pretty much find this step not really appropriate, because one more time, the institutions like police departments in most of the countries, I'm pretty sure it's not just in Bulgaria, have no idea how to file such a report. But this is number 4. Number 5 is to complete a questionnaire to support the investigation of crypto.com. Alright, so if you are a crypto.com user starting this month in February 2022, you better take all of these steps if you have seen your cryptocurrencies just going away from the account. But crypto.com is a huge exchange. They can afford to compensate the clients. Of course, a lot of people are worried what will happen if hackers attack a smaller exchange. Well, I don't know if they will be able to compensate the client. So that's why I said at the beginning of the video, split your cryptos on a few different exchanges. Stay on the major ones, on the big exchanges. They can afford to compensate you if there are hackers attacks. And one more time, best thing for me is to keep on a ledger device the cryptocurrencies that I'm keeping for the long term, right? Those ones over here. And of course, for some people it's not worth it to spend $170 just for the device. And this is if you're investing, let's say, up to $1,000. But if you have $5,000 or $10,000 worth of crypto, I personally think it is worth it to grab any hardware device, because you will have those money protected. It's much better to spend those money for a hardware device rather than lose all of your crypto in one moment. Alright guys, so to summarize it, make sure to keep your cryptocurrencies on different places, a few exchanges, a few wallets. You can split the way you feel comfortable. Of course, the long-term investments you better keep on the hardware wallet, because if you keep your short-term investments on a hardware wallet, every time you transfer you will be paying fees, and you will end up losing money from a lot of fees because you are transferring daily crypto. You want to avoid that. The second thing is to have some kind of hardware wallet as the ledger. And the third thing is to fill all KYC, MFA, anti-phishing codes, or whatever the exchange provides as a layer of security. Make sure you go through that. Don't skip it. It's important. And the last thing is choose an exchange that will protect your funds in the best way possible, depending on where you live. For example, as I showed, crypto.com has introduced a great option, and it's not only for US citizens, it's for all countries around the world where crypto.com is operating. So for me personally, not being a US citizen, it's a good option to have some kind of protection in crypto.com exchange. Alright, I'll be super happy to see what are your thoughts on cryptocurrency protection. If you have any other ideas on how to protect cryptocurrency from hackers, it would be great to see it in the comments below. I really thank you very much for watching and staying with me until the end of the video. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!